This piece of Black history in Charlotte was just saved from certain destruction. This was a small neighborhood grocery store built by a Black entrepreneur in the 1920s. It's one of the only of its kind still standing from that era. An investor decided to let the property go for less than he could have gotten to make sure the structure stays. WBTV's Amanda Foster has more from Washington Heights.
The property owner here was getting several higher offers to sell this property as a home in the back and this store up here in the front, but they decided to let it go to preserve history. This small brick Washington Heights building may be empty now, but holds a lot of history.
It was an African-American grocery store, and at the time where African-Americans didn't have much or were allowed to go where predominantly white customers were able to shop.
Investment advisor Dwayne Heigh decided to take on the project. He and the seller both knowing they'd lose out on any big payday from the investment.
To know that we had something within the community that would drive us all together, that was just historic for me.
They declined higher offers from buyers wanting to tear down the small white building, which sits in front of a home on Booker Avenue.
If the property's been vacant for over a year, unfortunately, it either has to be demolished or preserved.
Then entered Preserve Mecklenburg, co-founder Dan Morrill. His group offered far less than others to buy the property, but promised to preserve it.
In the days of racial segregation, the days of Jim Crow, one of the areas that African Americans could be entrepreneurs was to own grocery stores. And there used to be neighborhood grocery stores all over Charlotte. We know that there were more than 40, and they're almost all gone.
He says the store was built in the 1920s, changing hands but remaining a community hub until the 90s.
These places were more than just a place to go to the grocery store. They were social places.
For Morrill, it's all about hanging on to a visual reminder of what once was in this community.
The visual is so important in symbolizing the past. So when it's gone, it's gone.
The future for the property is unknown. It can't be a grocery store again, but it won't be torn down.
Just to know that this building is still here at this time in this year, it's just so impactful.
In Charlotte, Amanda Foster, WBTV.